Welcome to In 5 Minutes. Now I'll see a demonstration of defining a structure type. That is, we'll write a complete program to define a structure type and use that in our program. Here we'll be taking a simple example of defining a structure for holding students' data. Here I defined struct student. So obviously struct student becomes a data type and not a variable name. It has three members, one for roll number, RNO, one for holding student's name, that is name of type string, that is char array, and to hold the height of a student, let's say float variable. So in all, structure student variable will have three members. Total size of the structure variable will be 46 bytes, assuming 2 byte integer, 40 byte char array, and 4 byte floating point variable. Okay, now let's see how to write a complete program for this. Whenever we want to write a program with a structured data type, define the structured data type at the beginning of a program, that is before main, after the hash include commands, and then use that structure variable in main by defining a variable and then accessing the members of the structure. See, for example, here in this case, we'll start our program with normal hash include commands, whichever are required. Then we'll write our structure declaration, that is structure student in bracket member names, and then continue with the main program after that. In main program, obviously first thing we need to do is we need to define a variable of type structure student. Now this line stands for define a variable of type structure student, and because of that there will be a variable defined of type structure student which will have 46 bytes of memory. So A is a structure having 2 byte RNO variable for holding roll number, 40 bytes of char array to hold name of a student, and it has a 4 byte HT variable to hold the height of the student. So obviously it has in all 46 bytes of memory. Now we need to do some data input output in the structure. As usual, we write printf command to give message enter roll number, name and height. To input the roll number, it is a.rno will input. Suppose the input was 15. Then gets to input the name, because name is a string, we need to write gets in bracket array name, but it is the array itself is a part of a structure. We need to write gets a dot name. So some name will be input, let's say some name xyz, and then scanf %f for height, because height is a float variable, and a dot height. Suppose the height input was 5.7 feet. Now we want to output the data. So this printf will first just give a message as heading student data, and because of \n, the output will be a new line. The output will be shown as roll number is equal to 15. We're printing a.rno, a.name and a.height. So output will be name is equal to name, that is xyz, and height is equal to a.height, that is 5.7. So whenever you want to write program with a structured data type, at the beginning define a structure type with required variables, then define a variable of type structure, and then do the data inputs and outputs according to requirement. Just use normal scanf, gets, printf commands to do the data input output. Even you can do some operations, something like if let's say a dot height is greater than suppose 5.6, then perform something. So that is how we can do the checking also. If you want to increment the value of roll number, I can write a dot rno plus plus. So all these operations are possible. We can use the variables as we want. Just use the syntax structure name dot member name to perform any operation that we want. Thank you.